Today's video, I'm again giving a special shout out to my new buddy Arrow, who's the son of some of our fam of Liberty. What's up, fam of Liberty, and also everyone else watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown reason. It's your new best friend, Big Sarge, the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I am the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that's been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns since 2015. If you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time and or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck neo-Nazis, illegal immigrant Elon Musk, fuck GOP politicians, fuck these limp-dick Democrat politicians that aren't showing their whole fury, and fuck the billionaires, wealth hoarders, that have their fucking boot on the neck of just about every American citizen. This channel and its comment sections are not a safe space for bootlicking simps for a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, Wish.com fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, Russian asset, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, or a sugar daddy, the world's biggest supervillain man-child from South Africa who nobody fucking elected. Now that you know where I stand on things, if you're still here and you're not frantically rage typing into the comments box like a triggered snowflake who believed the price of eggs was worth throwing the whole fucking country under the bus, then maybe consider following the channel after you watch the video and deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. In 1994, I went down to the MEP station and I raised my hand and swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Last night on our live stream with Major Richard Ojeda, U.S. Army retired, we had a frank conversation about the find out phase of the fuck around equation. We all see the shit that's happening in this country just over a month into the new administration. We have mass numbers of people being fired. We have mass numbers of people resigning rather than following illegal orders to hand over the sensitive private and financial data of every American, or orders to destroy institutions. We have Vice President Donald Trump, and yes, I did say Vice President, basically sitting at a desk in the Oval Office getting cucked by one of Elon Musk's little kids, who was very clearly shit-talking him and telling him he was sitting in his daddy's seat. We have strong evidence that Traitor Trump has been a Russian asset since the late 1980s and owes them big time, and they want to collect. And we're seeing the Reich wing, yes, I said Reich, we're seeing the Reich wing encouraging the German neo-Nazi party to become more prominent in German politics. We're seeing these same Reich wing assholes basically telling Ukraine, you started a war by getting invaded, you should surrender, and then siding with motherfucking Russia, our goddamn enemy from the Cold War. Want to know how I know Donald Trump doesn't believe Ukraine President Zelensky is a dictator? Because Trump isn't fawning all over him and licking his boots like he does the North Koreans and the Russians and the Chinese and everybody else. That right there tells me that President Zelensky is on the right side of history, which is where the fuck we should be. We have an entirely inept, incompetent, unqualified DEI Hire administration, and DEI isn't a bad word, but these motherfuckers want to weaponize it, so yeah, let's speak to them on their level. The administration is systematically destroying the government and sidestepping Congress, including their fellow Republicans who are letting themselves be cucked by the cult leadership. I don't want to kink shame. They've fired competent military generals and admirals and replaced them with sycophantic stooges who say things like, "I'll kill for you, sir." They send emails to government officials and to military personnel demanding that the person affirm they will only be loyal to Trump. They fire the entire senior JAG, or Drug Advocate General staff, seasoned lawyers, and military officers whose specific job is to determine what is and what is not a lawful order. They're pushing legislative concepts to take away firearms from select people. They're cutting benefits and pay for average Americans. Before they even took office, this orange-painted clown literally called me and you, your mama and your cousin too, the enemy within. This motherfucker declared us his enemies, and now, after basically saying what Napoleon said, l'état c'est moi, or the state is me, that makes us all enemies of the state. And here's the fucked up part, America. We are, all of us, sitting here going, gee, someone just stop this. We are that someone, America. Nobody's coming to save you but you. We are, all of us, thinking the same goddamn thing that we're not allowed to say out loud because it's illegal or makes us dangerous or condones violence. That's fucking rich. Coming from a country that forcefully colonized the whole goddamn country from coast to coast because manifest destiny and put Native Americans to death in order to do so. That's fucking rich. Coming from the government which has continually succeeded previous administrations in an unbroken line since 1774 when the First Continental Congress convened. You know, the guys who fought back against British tyranny after British redcoats tried to fuck around. The guys who stacked redcoat bodies It's rich that we're told, oh, you can't do that, that's illegal, because it terrifies the minority rulers who are vastly outnumbered and the billionaire elites who are aiding and abetting and funding Vice President Donald Trump and Shadow President Elon Mussolini, who nobody fucking elected and voted for. It's rich that these same people have Punisher decals and Spartan helmets with Greek moaning labia stickers on their vehicles. These same fucking ass clowns are like, yeah, you can't make threats, when in 1773 a bunch of pissed off Americans tossed 342 large chests of very expensive tea into the harbor. And to be clear, this wasn't little boxes of Tetley tea bags either. This was some big shit, like 92,000 pounds of tea, pounds being a weight and not the monarchy's currency. An estimated $1.7 million in damages by today's standards, and that's from one event. There were others within that same exact time period. Founding Father Samuel Adams argued that the Tea Party was not the act of a lawless mob, but was instead a principled protest and the only remaining options the people had to defend their constitutional rights. John Adams, his second cousin and likewise a founding father, wrote in his diary on December 17, 1773 that the Boston Tea Party, which was initially known as the destruction of the tea, by the way, proved a historical moment in the American Revolution. He wrote, "This is the most magnificent movement of all. There is a dignity, a majesty, a sublimity in this last effort of the patriots that I greatly admire. The people should never rise without doing something to be remembered, something notable and striking. This destruction of the tea is so bold, so daring, so firm, intrepid and inflexible, and it must have so important consequences and so lasting that I can't but consider it as an epoch of history." So I've said that I'm a single issue voter, and my single issue is motherfucking democracy. And if we get to hold elections in 2026, there's a big portion of American voters that are going to be forcibly disenfranchised, like all you woke liberal feminists out there who didn't take your husband's last name. For example, you won't be able to vote because your last name doesn't match. President Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, and the guy who helmed the nation as it beat the absolute fucking dog shit out of traitorous, religious conservative capitalist slave-owning oligarchs who betrayed their country. President Abraham Lincoln, in his second inaugural address dated 4 March 1865, said that veterans should be cared for. The quote is, "To care for him who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and his orphan." I should note that Lincoln carefully blamed the American Civil War, also called the Slavery Rebellion. Lincoln blamed neither side. Slavery was the cause. He very clearly said it. Anyway, this quote became the basis for the mission statement of the Department of Veterans Affairs, or the VA. The VA's mission is to honor and serve veterans and their families. The VA provides care, benefits, and memorials where necessary. This has been part of the social contract with our nation's veterans for almost 160 years to the day. Every person who ever stepped up and raised their hand and signed on that dotted line wrote a blank check to the American people, and that blank check included the proviso with my own life if necessary. We all served with the expectation that if service wore us down, we would be provided for. We would be taken care of past our end term of service or retirement. My oath to defend this country did not expire when I got my DD-214 blanket of freedom. And now that social contract is being dismantled by a draft-dodging coward wearing a cheap suit and another draft-dodging coward who fled his home country like a bitch-made cuck to avoid the draft to come live here illegally, I might add, and his little shitheel pissant incel minions, the Seven Dorks, Elon, Snow, White Power, and the Seven Dorks. These motherfuckers fired the whole ass VA suicide hotline team illegally. They put 1,000 people out of a job illegally. They have the sensitive personal, medical, and financial records of every veteran and every dependent who uses the VA. They have your military record. These goddamn sons of bitches have zero integrity, zero honor, zero patriotism, zero sense of self-service. They are a walking, talking violation of the core values. And Elon Mussolini, the richest man in the world, who has continually abused this mythical position that doesn't even legally exist to enrich himself. This guy is buddy-buddy with neo-Nazis and Russian oligarchs. Don't you fucking think for a single second that all of this information, including veterans who fought the Cold War against the Soviet Union, don't think for a second that this information isn't going to get sold to our enemies. March 14th, every veteran in this country, regardless of who you voted for, whether you voted at all, regardless of when you served, regardless of whether or not you deployed downrange, stepped outside the wire, or served in peacetime or in the rear, every family member of a veteran, whether your veteran is still here or has gone on to Valhalla, every democracy-supporting, freedom-loving, concerned citizen, whether you are a civilian or a veteran or actively serving, all of you, Each and every last one of you, brothers and sisters, now is the time for each and every one of you to decide whether you are going to sit back and say someone should do something, or whether you are going to join Big Sarge and the Fam of Liberty and other angry, pissed off Americans to protest in the streets of Washington, D.C., March 14th. You can't afford to sit back in silence like the placid sheeple in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, at the town hall meeting where unidentified goons with no jurisdiction dragged away a woman named Dr. Teresa Boren-Pole, who was exercising her constitutional right to free speech. That's your motherfucking First Amendment for those of you MAGA chuckle fucks out there who only know the second and don't give a shit about or otherwise understand the other amendments. Y'all don't be sitting back watching someone else get dragged off and shut down, because they've already come for many of your fellow citizens. One day there will be no one left to speak up for you. Let me say that again, for the fence sitters and the people who supported this administration and the protest voters who decided not to vote. One day there will be no one left to speak up for you. The resistance starts with us. Want to know how you can get involved in the Sons of Liberty resistance movement? We've begun organizing local Sons of Liberty chapters by region. Do not ask in the comment sections or send me an email asking if we have a chapter in such and such state or such region. Get on our Discord server. Rule number 1 of Sons of Liberty Fight Club is that we don't talk about Sons of Liberty Fight Club. I have a whole ass section on a subject called OPSEC. It's a whole video, and if this is a foreign concept to you, then I suggest that you go watch that video. Some of you go rewatch it because you do dumb shit. I promote the Sons of Liberty Discord server on almost every video that I do because conservative social media tech oligarchs like Mark Zuckerberg and Shadow President Elon Mussolini can't deplatform us on Discord. They can't mute or censor our content. On our Discord server, our staff does, in fact, censor the content. We don't allow Fed posting, which is posting illegal shit like, I'm going to go shoot somebody. We don't allow violations of Discord's terms of service. We don't allow graphic content, etc., etc. We're just not going to let people disrupt our community. Discord is not just a chat platform, nor is it just a platform for gamers. Whilst we do have off-topic channels in a section for gamers, we also have region sections with helpful resources for those regions. In those spaces, you can organize with local Fam of Liberty. You can learn about practical things such as self-defense courses, firearms instructors who are local to you and who are left-leaning. You can learn about home defense, home security. You can participate in firearms discussions with subject matter experts. You can learn about growing your own food in victory gardens and then canning and jarring and preserving that food. You can figure out your shit hits the fan contingency plans, build first aid kits, bug out bags, link up with other members of the Fam of Liberty who might be able to assist you with moving to safety if you need to be saved. And like I mentioned, we do have those off-topic places for you to post your art, cut loose, let off some steam, talk about music, talk about your cosplay. Veterans, you have a DD-214 blanket fort. Sky is the limit. There's just general bullshitting around frequencies. You can also get updates from our social media, which does make our Discord ping heavy thanks to the webhooks that we use to integrate our various social media notifications. But you can disable those in the channel appropriately named ping roll. If you're having trouble with Discord, I have this whole ass YouTube video tutorial about how to use the Sons of Liberty Discord server. So if you need assistance, start with that video. The invite link to Discord is in the Throatpunch at the end of this video and all of our other videos. That invite link is also in the YouTube video description and in the YouTube channel description and TikTok channel description. If you like the shirts or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store. That's if Etsy doesn't take me down for content violations. I'm still here. The merch store is listed in the link tree in our YouTube channel description and in the video description. New merch goes up all the time, like my Chingra La Migra shirts, my DD-214 shirt, DD-214 hoodie. We have tank tops, racerbacks. We have our comical shit like Satan Be Gone and Magalube, Enemy Within shirts, Make Fascists Afraid Again shirts. Fucking can't even think of anything else. If you like our video content, we also have a whole social media presence elsewhere, so we would appreciate it if you would follow us on all of our other socials, whichever ones that you've got. The various socials that we have are listed in the Throatpunch at the end of our videos and in the link tree, which can be found on the channel descriptions. On YouTube and TikTok, we would also appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and get notifications on our channel. A little bit of a bidding process on TikTok, but if you're on TikTok, you already know that. Anyway, fuck TikTok for shadow banning us and muting our content there. You can help us extend our reach by sharing our video content on all of your socials. You can go find the relevant Sons of Liberty account on that platform and share the content there because this video is probably already linked there. You can help us beat the algorithm by leaving us at least 7 words in our comment sections on all of the various socials that we have. So when you watch this video, go find all the other posts that we make on our various social media platforms and click the like button. Follow us there if you're not already following us, and leave us a comment with at least 7 words in the comment section, because that's how the algorithm decides that your content engagement on our stuff is meaningful, more so than somebody who just comes by and says LOL or whatever. On that note, if you have watched this video all the way to the end and literally nothing that I've ranted about here has stirred your passions or provoked your mental processes to gift you with enough words to leave as a comment, but you still want to help us beat the algorithm anyway, the phrase "I made it to the end, Big Sarge" is actually 8 words. So if you can't think of anything else to say despite all of the thought-provoking commentary, then there's a suggestion for you. 2 clicks and a rig. This one is especially for Arrow. Actually, you know what? I have a little surprise for Arrow. This song is for my buddy Arrow. He's my special little bro. Arrow, this song is written just for you. So let me hear 2 claps and a woo. Woo!
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!